Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here, and one or two parts of my biography I didn't quite recognise, but I'll leave that on one side. We have heard that the majority of the British people want a referendum on our membership of the European Union, a real choice as to whether we remain members of what is becoming a bureaucratically governed superstate, not a democratically governed association of independent countries. There are majorities for a referendum across the United Kingdom, in every age group, and among the supporters of all the major political parties, and indeed the minor ones, including my own Labour Party, which you may recall voted against UK membership of the then common market in the 1970s and early 1980s. Indeed, in my own constituency, I've had a mock referendum which found 2/3 in favour of a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty, just as another local indicator. One of the few areas where there is not a majority supporting a referendum is in the House of Commons, or at least apparently so. On Monday, there will be a parliamentary vote on the issue, but all three major parties, as we have heard, are on a three-line whip to vote against the referendum, and we cannot therefore know what the result might be on a genuine free vote without pressure from the party leaderships. It is clear that our party leaders are frightened of a referendum, simply because the voters, our constituents, might vote to leave the EU and re-establish Britain's democratic independence, as indeed I certainly hope they would. There are a few principal supporters of a UK referendum who also support a referendum, UK membership, who also support a referendum, and I must say I admire them for that. But what is it that so frightens the political class about UK withdrawal? Is it the thought that we would no longer belong to the common fisheries policy, regain control of Britain's fisheries, stop the fishing free-for-all and see fish stocks recover? Is it that we would no longer be required to contribute billions to the common agricultural policy? Is it indeed that we would no longer be massive net contributors to the EU budget when we have a large government spending deficit and hospitals and other public services crying out for more money? On the budget alone, we would save £9 billion a year and rising. The daftest lame argument trotted out repeatedly is that Britain would lose export markets in the EU. What tosh that is. Britain actually has a gigantic trade deficit with the EU in each and every month and each and every year. We buy billions more from the EU than they do from us. So the last thing the EU would do is launch a trade war with us, because they would be the losers. So let us have our referendum. Let us hope for a vote to withdraw. Let us replace EU membership with a sensible cooperative relationship and independent democratic government at Westminster, not bureaucratic government from Brussels. Let us have that choice.